My name is Jeff Myers. We are from Fawcett, Missouri. This tractor started pulling in 1972 when it was bought new by my father-in-law. Was named Rambunctious when he started pulling it. Still carries that name today. I came along in '85, met my wife, and started going to a few tractor pulls with him, just watching. And then probably '92, '93, somewhere in there, we were at a local pull, and on the way home he told me we get home, put her in the shop, and next weekend we go pull it. So the following weekend, took it out, waited till 3 in the morning to get to run it, and ran 13.5 and 15,000 pounds with it. First time I'd ever hooked it. Of course, now today we're at 8,500 pounds, and going a whole lot faster than what we were back then. But I remember that first pull like it was yesterday. Like I said, we waited till 3 in the morning. It just took that long for our class to come around because all the heavier stock classes were at the end. And I remember when I got done, I was amazed how well it ran, and I actually got it down the track, so that was even more amazing. But the difference between back then and today, the sleds are a lot different, the speed's a lot different, the horsepower is a lot different. But I think in the end, I call it a rush. Some people might call it something different, but in the end, that rush is still the same. It's that feeling of the horsepower and just seeing how far you can get, So. Tristan come along, was born '96, and he started pulling when he was about 5. We got him on a garden tractor. Thought that was going to be the greatest thing, and the kid lives it, breathes it.
I'm Tristan Myers from Fawcett, Missouri, with the Rambunctious pulling team. International 1066, 8500 Light Limited Pro that we pull now. I started pulling a Cub Cadet garden tractor when I was 5 years old. Got started out on it, pulled it for a few years. Some friends of ours, the Hill family from Platte City, let me run their Massey 44 at a few antique pulls. Got kind of hooked on driving the bigger tractor. And then a few years later, we decided to get 1066 back out. It sat for a few years, and we got it out, started pulling in a 12-mile-an-hour class for one summer, and that didn't go over so well. I couldn't stay under the speed limit, so that didn't last very long. We jumped up and ran the A-pump class, they called it, with Northwest Missouri tractor pullers. Ran it for a couple years, then decided to jump up to the P-pump, go a little bit faster. And then about 4 years ago, we decided we were going to go with the Limited Pro or Light Limited Pro class. And we've been running it the past 4 summers and run with mainly Outlaws in Northwest Missouri, and then hit a couple PPL hooks along the way. Every time you still get the rush. It don't matter where it's at or what pull it is. I'm still nervous when you just getting ready and everything. Once you pull out on the track, it all goes away, but just getting to that point, you're still nervous, making sure you got everything right. But it's from what you remember, it's a pretty fun ride and it goes by quick. Probably the most nerve-wracking and busiest time is from when we get ready and leave the trailer to go weigh in on the scales, get teched, get staged at the track, and then depending on what hook we are, watch guys in front of us or watch the class before us and see what the track's doing. But once you get in the tractor and got your fire suit and helmet on and pulling up to the line, it all pretty much just goes away. It's go time then, I guess.
Best ride I've ever taken on this tractor was, it'd be a toss-up between 2 of them. One of them, back when it was old school, we were running 24.5 ag tires back then, just a single cut ag tire with a 3LM charger and a Model 100 pump. And actually one night got it into road gear in Richmond, Missouri. And we tried it, thought it would work, and it worked, and that was a ride. Yeah. Because it was probably the fastest that we had ever ran, according to as far as gears, we had never been in that gear and was able to go faster down the track and actually make it work. And then Wisner was just getting in the top 10 at Wisner. You know, it was our first time to get in the top 10. And only one of yours that I can think of was at Hardin, Missouri. The night that we'd been fighting, getting it hooked up, and went down to Hardin and had talked to my father-in-law earlier that week, and he gave me his input. We thought he was crazy. We went ahead and done it anyway and ended up winning that night. We ended up taking everything off the nose. And we put it either on the back or in the middle, and we had not done that. And it turned us around finally. Kind of one of them stale periods and just needed to make a major change, and we tried it. He was right, it worked. So.
I would say my best, most fun ride would be at Hardin when I got my first actual win in the limited pro class, and then this past summer I got second place down at the Missouri State Fair. We'd kind of been fighting it all summer and finally got some new tires on the back and got everything to work and thought we were going to win it, but Gosler's got around us by a couple inches and we ended up getting second. Yeah, last summer, being the first summer we had Tractor Zoom as a sponsor, we got a lot of questions about what Tractor Zoom was, who they were, what they were doing, and we always just told them it was a really neat deal that they're doing, promoting farm auctions around the U.S. They're based out of Iowa, and a lot of people seemed really interested in it once they got to know it. I mean, there was even times when people downloaded an app on their phone right there and, you know, was asking if they could look for certain stuff, and I think quite a few people were actually really interested in looking at different farm equipment at different auctions all over.
Tractor Zoom, you know, we come across, of course, you know, Ryan, taking pictures and meeting Ryan through the years at the polls, had told us about it, you know, and it just seems like it's a one-stop place to try to find equipment at different auctions. Just seems to make it simpler if you're looking for something. You know, it's posted out there. It's easy to look at. So I guess word of mouth, you know, is how we came across it. And as far as using it, like I said, you know, it's easy to look through and find an auction close to you, or, you know, even one that's all over the internet. So a lot of our ground, pretty much all of our ground, I should say, is terraced. So we have a lot of point rows, and was looking at, you know, maybe getting into shutoffs and things like that. So that's why we started looking at the Kinsey, because there's a lot more options as far as shutoffs and seed monitoring and everything on the Kinseys. And, you know, going on Tractor Zoom and looking, you know, typing that in, it just seems like you can find quicker what you're looking for and more variety than, like, let's say on Craigslist. Yeah, I would definitely recommend Tractor Zoom to anybody that's looking for equipment, farming equipment. You know, go out there and search it, and you will find what you're looking for. Yeah.
We got to looking on Tractor Zoom, and you really have a lot more variety. I mean, you can look for auctions all over, look for what you're wanting. Going to college at Northwest Missouri, the younger kids my age ask what it is. You know, we're always looking on the internet or on our phones, on apps and stuff, and it's just pretty handy to be able to get on there and see what's out there, even if you just want to look for whatever, if you got something specific. If some of the older generation guys are needing something, they can say, hey, you know, I'm looking for this, and you can pull right up on the Tractor Zoom app, and it might be, you might find something real close, or there might be something quite a ways away, but it might be what you're looking for, and a lot of different options with it.
How long till we get you back in the seat? When are you going to kick him out?
Well, part of why we're doing what we're doing here, we're probably going to we're going to try to run points with Outlaws this summer. Ourselves, Mike Golda, Andrew, we're all going to try to team up, and there's a couple of the John Deere guys, I guess we could throw their names out, but Dunn Clouse, Phil and Tim, Mike, he's another buddy of Mike Golda's, is building a new John Deere for our class, and we're going to try to, you know, kind of gather our resources with each other and try to run. And if that happens, I would like to think there's probably going to be more of me in the seat, probably. I'm hoping. I don't know. We'll see. You get to a point, you know, we ran, my father-in-law and I ran 2 tractors for a lot of years. We ran an old Super MTA that we pulled. And, you know, we went 2 nights a weekend, sometimes 3 nights a weekend, and moved, you know, 1,000 pounds through 4 classes over the night, running those 2 tractors. And so we got to do a lot of pulling. And I just, it seems like every time I think I'm going to drive, we get in a situation where I'm like, man, I like see him do good, so then I let him drive. I still like it. It's a rush. Missouri State Fair last year was the first time in 2 years that I'd been on it. And things have changed since I had been on it last. Yeah. It was a good thing I had a full face helmet on.
This is the front half of the tractor, I guess you could say. The motor and everything, we've had it on the dyno the past couple weeks, I guess, week and a half. We brought it up here to Meister Repair and started working on it to get ready for Gordyville. As you can see, we roll it in half and then we bring it over here and actually hook it up to the dyno, and helps us fine tune it. Tells us kind of what power it's making and all that good stuff. Over here we got the transmission we've been working on. We tore up one of our gears last summer and got it all tore apart and got it replaced, so now we have another gear to choose from. We went ahead and tore all the rear end apart, checked the differential, all that stuff, made sure everything was good to go and looked all right. And then here, I guess we got the roll cage and everything we got pulled off just to look at the top of it and make sure everything was good to go. And we got 10 days before we got to have it all ready for Gordyville. I guess it'll get together one way or the other, but it's going to be some long days, I'd say, before we get there. But looking forward to being out there and having a good time with a bunch of friends and everyone, seeing everyone after been off for harvest and everything, and haven't really seen everyone since the summer. So I don't even know where to begin to thank everyone. I mean, the list goes on, but me and Dad, we've been working hard on it. My grandpa, he always is willing to help when we can. We brought it up here to Meister Repair, Andrew Meister. He's been working nonstop, getting ready. Just got it off the dyno. Greg and Austin Potter at Deer Doctor Performance, they've always there to help us out. The Naughty Boys, Rodney Knott, all of them, the list just goes on and on with the people that are always willing to help us out and make it all possible, I guess.
Come on, Chris.